How you doing?
Yeah! Yeah!
Happen with these, and I do not know what the grade is yet, so we are going to find out together. Most likely a 9.8, but man, fingers crossed that it hits one of those higher numbers as well. So let's see. You get to see before I do. Let's see. Oh, yes! Yes! Oh my God! Yes! Yes!
You about to get plugged.
And that whistling is so loud, it's almost deafening now. Deafening.
Oh,
to
yeah.
me.
So
We've had some
many
time-
holes.
So many wide open, gaping holes. Yeah, I mean, life gets in the way. Well, not to say some birthdays get in the way, but you know what I mean.
I mean, we both had our son's birthdays, so I think we're allowed a couple of weeks off.
Which great minds together. Close together, I should say.
Yeah,
Realize,
with 10 years of difference, but
yeah, this is the time of year to get it done. Let's get it done.
I mean, what's your excuse here? It's because it's cold.
Just because I like doing that. my wife actually said, you know, this is the time. If you're gonna get it done, get it done. So
Oh, we spent like 4 years doing that.
yeah.
Now it's the time. Now it's the time. Now it's the time. Now it's the time. And it didn't work. Well, it worked a couple of times, but it didn't come to fruition. So we kept going at it. And well, after 4 years of trying, we gave up. And then it happened.
And then when you least expect it.
Yeah.
Such is the way. But I mean, I'd rather be trying than not trying. I always
Sure.
appreciate the practice.
I have a friend that one of his pickup lines was, "Would you like to get married?" He told a girl whom he didn't know, and they usually startled them. We can start practicing today, and you can answer me afterwards. But
did it ever work?
yeah. Yeah, it's surprising how it's. I think it's a matter of attitude. You know, it's not about what you say; it's how confident you say it. Because I have success with strange lines that weren't meant to be pickup lines, which is crazy. But
all right, now I mean, you have to give an example now.
Oh well.
And if it was Spanish, make me weak in the knees and say it in Spanish. We have a couple of people here in the chat who could translate for us.
Well, there was a girl, and her friend was talking to one of my friends, and I was talking to her just because she was there, and I basically dissed them as a whole species, basically females, and that seemed to work. But I cannot say it. I can translate it, but it's not YouTube friendly.
Okay.
All
right. We'll leave it at that. Ignacio does not want to give away his secrets lest he be on the market again. So
no, dude, there's no secrets. It's a matter of attitude, and when you don't have the attitude, or maybe the confidence or the know-how, it's about the numbers.
All you needed to do is work one time out of 100. You're good.
Exactly.
You're good. So speaking of which, I see a few people now in the chat that I'd like to maybe try some stuff on.
James
from New Mexico. Hello. One guy who I definitely
Joe.
have to resist the his masculine charms coming up. I have to build up the immunity coming up. Heroes Con in a few weeks. Mr. Beckerman.
Hey, Mike.
I cannot resist his. You know what I mean.
Yeah.
Brother John, I will be meeting also. Hopefully, Heroes Con. It seems like to be another good thing. John Paul, hello.
John.
The legend.
Bobby de la Ghetto.
Never far away, my man. Never far away. Always where I can be reminded of the great people of this community. And we can get the party started. Chop and Drop 2013 is here. 2013. All right. Hope everybody's doing well this Thursday. We are back. Finally.
Yeah.
Thrilling some.
Yeah. Yeah, and basically, I was thinking maybe this show is exposing our holes because I can't believe I just said that. Because I was reading the Eisner nomination, the list, and like you said before, most of those comics we haven't read.
Yeah.
I have read a couple, but most of them are just holes to be filled with the information of what that comic is about and why is it nominated.
Some like all right. I mean, do you want to share the list now? You want to start going through the list now?
I mean, we can, but how fun would that be?
All right, so let's just go through the short story first, and then we'll pull this away, and then we'll discuss.
Okay.
All right, funeral. This is the first category, best short story. And
so let's start with this. Have you read any of those short stories?
I have not read any of them. I haven't even recognized any of them.
Okay, the only one I have read is Generations by Daniel Warren Johnson. That is a Superman red and blue story.
Right. And
it's the only one I read, and I don't know if it should win or not, but it made me cry, which is to say something, because I don't usually cry reading comics, but it's a story about Clark and his father, of course, and that got me, basically.
Oh, I have seen this cover before.
Yeah, but you don't buy DC books.
Every now and again I do. I don't for this one, though. I don't for this one.
Yeah, I totally understand it, but I read it because it was Dino Warren Johnson, and I love his art. And since he's a cartoonist and he does everything, then I wanted to see what his approach to Superman was. You know, as well as his approach to Deadpool, for example, because he did a story for Deadpool. It was red, black, white, black, and blood, or whatever.
Yeah, red, white, and blood. I think it's called something like that.
I think. Yeah. So that's the only one I read from that short story list.
Yeah, I hadn't. Yeah, and you know what? To be honest, I don't really have the desire. I mean, people always talk about DWJ, and it's. I've read his Beta Ray Bill stuff and some of his Image stuff, like what is that, Murder Falcon?
Yeah.
Yeah, and it seems great to me. I don't know. I mean, it would be nice too is how they judge, how they gathered this list. I don't know if they've shared that though. But
I don't know. There's a part of the awards that people get to vote on, but I don't know which part. I only know that Blake from Blake's Buzz, that he's a journalist and he covers here in YouTube, and he has a podcast. He interviews creators and such. He got to submit his vote, but I don't know. I know he was limited to a part of the awards. He didn't get to vote to all the list. But I don't know. I don't remember what he voted for.
Yeah.
In which category he voted for.
Brother John says, "Tap tap tap will make you cry." Also, this is part of the Green Arrow 80th anniversary.
Okay.
Yeah, his dad, Denny O'Neil, super one of the legends in the game. So yeah,
Indeed.
So yeah, I mean, maybe funeral and foam, but you know what? Too, this is honestly some kind of stuff where I would just completely forget, or I wouldn't think about it past this show. I don't know.
Yeah, I see what you mean, and I don't know. Maybe I don't know what is it with awards, but recently I got nominated. We got nominated for Kileru Semper Fi for a very prestigious Australian award, the Aurealis Awards, that are fiction. I don't know if it's exactly only fiction, but there were some big names in the industry there. Matt, the writer of Kileru Semper Fi, got to go to the ceremony, and he told me he was talking with people that writes for Netflix and some pretty big sci-fi writers, which his wife got the books to sign. And to be honest, I totally forgot we were nominated. And it was my first nomination ever for an award. And I totally forgot. Maybe I'm in a crazy train of activities, but yeah. But I forgot, man. And to be honest, I didn't really care if we won. I mean, it would have been like a badge of honor, basically.
Right.
But I don't know. It was crazy to be nominated, but I forgot about it. And then Matt was telling me, "Okay, I'm going to the awards." Okay, that is today. Oh, okay. Well, I hope we win, but if not, I mean, just have fun, do some networking, and let's see what happens. And we didn't win, of course, but
well, I mean, just to be nominated, you got to think you have a shot, right? And it's good. There's got to be some kind of pride in just being nominated.
I mean, of course there is. Of course there is. I've been debating with myself if it's even worth it to put it on my bio, you know, Aurealis Award nominated.
I don't think it could hurt. Obviously, I mean, just to be nominated for something. Yeah. It's not like, hey, you're up for a Two Nerd Dads Best Comic of Tuesday award.
I mean, it's a nomination. I mean, if someone out there is willing, and that's one of the things too, you know, it's what does the award mean? Who gives you the award? If it's your peers, if it's the community at large, the readers, a select group of very few but highly regarded people. Like, for example, you have these the Eisners, you have the Harveys, the Inkpot, and the Inkpot Awards. It's since I saw the statue that they gave you the prize. It's a beautiful Inkpot, but it's kind of anthropomorphized. And I want that statue. I don't care about the award. I just want the physical shit. But those awards are given, for example, by peers, basically. How cool is that?
Pretty dope, yeah.
Yeah. So, but in the end, aren't the awards basically it's a popularity contest? Is it not?
No. I mean, there are certain things I guess would be, but yeah, to be something like that, or like the Oscars, Tonys, something like that. I guess if, like you say, if it's something about from your peers and not just popularity, it's got to mean something. It's got to mean something.
Yeah. I guess so. I mean, we weren't even expecting to be nominated, because sometimes for these awards, you have to submit your work to be nominated.
Right.
And we didn't submit it. We should have, probably, because, I mean, if we got a nomination without even submitting our work, what if we submit it? But water under the bridge.
Like I said,
And
you know for the next time.
yeah, definitely. And when we got the nomination, and we didn't, I didn't even know about the awards because it's an Australian award, and I'm an honorary Aussie, but not that honorary Aussie. And I went looking for it. I thought, well, this is pretty serious. So, and I asked who nominated us because I wanted to thank him or thank them. So I got into contact with the person that nominated us. That's part of the board of the awards, and I thanked him because I didn't even know we were up for anything, and suddenly this dude nominated us for an award. So that was pretty crazy.
Somebody's out there reading your stuff unsolicited. Yeah. So awesome.
There's no gun pointing at their heads.
Right.
There's nothing.
And they're not on the toilet with nothing else to read. They're actually seeking your stuff out.
Yes.
Speaking of awesome, Austin LeMay.
Hey, Austin.
And another gentleman who might know a thing or two about award ceremonies, Mr. Brian LCS.
Hey, Brian.
How are you? All right. So
single-handedly working for the community, basically, to award the community.
Yeah, and honestly, when I first heard about it last year, I mean, just for a newcomer, Brian being a newcomer at that time, it was a massive undertaking then. You catch a lot of flack from the community.
It was a ballsy move.
Sure. But he's a Rangers fan, and we all know ballsy being Rangers fans. You might not know hockey, but
I wouldn't know shit about it.
Let's go Rangers. And F you, Gary B. You know what I'm talking about.
Oh,
let's
Gary,
check
come on.
We'll say hello to Eli before we hop into the next. I don't even know the word, but let's just continue.
Category.
Yes, thank you. Best continuing series: Bitter Root, Department of Truth.
You missed a best single issue or one shot.
God damn you, Ignacio.
Oh, come on.
I'm
your co-host.
Yeah. Sorry. Best single issue, one shot, must be able to stand alone. Marvel Voices Identity #1. Mouse Guard, the Owl Hen Caregiver and Other Tales. Nightwing 87, Wolven Daughter, and Wonder Woman Historia, the Amazons.
Have you read any of that?
I have Marvel Voices Identity 1, but it never made it to my read pile, and I stopped reading Nightwing around issue 84.
Okay, I don't read Nightwing. I read Marvel Voices. I read I don't know if this issue particular, the Mouse Guard, but I read Nightwing just this issue because of what it meant as a sequential narration, as a sequential storytelling device. Because if I'm not mistaken, this is the issue that is basically, as you would say, a single shot, right?
Right.
So in storytelling alone, I think that's a pretty high issue of Nightwing. I haven't read another one, but the device works perfectly there. Yeah, I really enjoyed it.
I enjoyed up to 84. 84 kind of was like the dead point for me, but I was enjoying that. But I want to get to some people who just popped up in the chat because I've been enjoying 10 questions with this guy, Geek Out with Roscoe.
Hey, Roscoe.
I am up to the part where Roscoe is describing his afflictions. I'd highly recommend go and check it out. I mean, just Jimmy's Return is fantastic, but Roscoe is one of those guys that always pops up on people's channel. Do I have it close by?
that venomized version.
Woo! Let me make myself
Fire.
big with the voice. Woo!
Yes. Amazing.
So go check out Mr. Roscoe on Jimmy's channel today, out today. Also, I mean, it must have been the fact that we were talking about Australians and Lee pops up.
Oh yeah.
But
Hola,
Lee,
Lee.
yep, Lee, we want to get Lee to sleep because he's going to be on Let's Talk About It in a few short hours. So I want him to be a fresh and live Australian for that part too on Remy Q's channel tonight.
So shall we sing him a lullaby or something, or just keep quiet for a minute or two so he can go to sleep?
I will do either. Lee, if you want a lullaby or if you just want, a minute or two of silence, you let us know and we'll graciously extend that for you. So
Nah, he's gonna choose a lullaby. I know him.
okay, so we'll start thinking about that then. Check out Manny and his myriad of awesome content dropping. He just recently reviewed Miss Marvel #1. Well, the first episode of Miss Marvel. Yeah.
Oh, dude.
Soon.
People are going crazy with that show. See, lullaby, please.
Miss Marvel?
Yeah, but for the wrong reasons. I read some headline about extremists, Catholic extremists, talking about how they don't feel represented. Some bullshit. But people are crazy, man.
Never mind, they've been fully represented for the past 700 years.
Yeah.
One episode comes out and they feel that they're being disrespected. All right, how do you want to handle lullaby? Do you want to go verse for verse?
No, I'm going to go with one in Spanish and you go with one in English.
Okay, you go first.
Okay. Arrorró mi niño, arrorró mi sol, arrorró pedazo de mi corazón. Este niño lindo se quiere dormir, cierra los ojitos y los vuelve a abrir. There you go. Your turn.
Pretty good one. Good night, sweetly. Good night, sweetly. Dream of whacking comics so you can sleep deeply, sweetly. Go to bed. It's time to rest that beautiful face on a nice warm bed. Good night, Lee.
Good night. Que descanses, papi.
Woof.
You know what? You know what lullaby I use for my son? Wait, it might sound crazy, but he likes it.
Hmm?
You know have you seen Pan's Labyrinth by Guillermo del Toro?
I did at one time. It must have been like 2008. But
Okay.
I had a young lady over at the house at the time, and there were some other things that took precedence.
Yeah. Okay.
So I'd like to see it again, and I know there was this guy.
Yeah.
But what happened with that lady was hi, Remy.
Totally understandable, Remy. Is that Remy in the chat? No. Oh, we're just saying hi to the video of Remy. Okay.
No, Remy popped in. Remy popped in.
I didn't saw him.
Where was he?
So I hum to him. I hum to him that lullaby, and I hope someday to show him the movie, and so he can recognize the lullaby I sang to him when he was a baby. Maybe it's a stretch, but
But I mean, if he has your genes and comes from your DNA, it might fall right into one.
Dude, it's crazy. I see him do things and I say, "What's the deal with you, kid?" The other day we put security locks on the doors of the cabinets under the kitchen and such, you know. And these little shits are made of plastic, but it's pretty durable. And they have a locking mechanism that you have to press to open.
Mm.
This dude, the first thing he does is go to the pressing mechanism. I mean, he's not strong enough to open it, but it's the first thing he did. Come on, he's gonna fuck us over sometime.
well, when your favorite pastime with your 1-year-old son is hitting shit with a hammer, you may be in some trouble.
I'm telling you, I'm teaching him to survive. You know?
The zombie apocalypse may be far away. Maybe far
Well,
away.
he needs to know how to open nuts with a hammer.
Yes. Not that there are nutcrackers or any other implements out there that might be a little easier, safer, but yeah. And just to put it, I did, well, yeah, it was kind of a Carrie remake. I definitely see that.
Oh, nice.
I enjoyed it. What else was there?
Obi-Wan.
Yeah. The little kids, for some reason, they pick up immediately when they're not supposed to. The thing that you want them to follow the least, I remember Elijah must have been a year and a half, 2 years old. I was changing his clothes, and his little thing was,
yeah.
So I kind of laughed. I said, "Oh, it's hard." And immediately, that's the word he picks up on. He associates it. He knows how to pronounce it. Everything. It's hard. That's all he kept repeating. Oh, Jesus. So the most weirdest, basest shit that you can probably think of, that's what a little kid will pick on.
Yeah, probably because it made you laugh. So he connected with, oh, that made Dad laugh. So it's hard, Dad.
Yep. And it's always showtime. Always be showtime. All right. So first, all right, one shots we got to. Best continuing series. I've read pretty much all of these, at least parts of them.
Yeah.
Bitterroot is a great story. I've read the first couple of issues.
Yeah, me too.
Department of Truth. I gave up after issue 17 because it was a little bit too verbose for me.
Yeah, I think I read issue 1 or maybe 2 of Department of Truth, but
right.
Yeah.
Immortal
Didn't
Hulk.
hook me.
Yeah, Immortal Hulk was great.
Yeah.
I
haven't read it all yet. Nightwing, I haven't read.
Nightwing and Something is Killing Children. Hello, Circumstances. We didn't say what's up to you, but yeah, that's a great series. It was kind of a lull in the mid issues from like 11 through 16.
After the first arc.
Yeah.
That's all I read. First arc.
This one picked up. It's been pretty good lately since issue 21 and up. Yeah, I can see why all of them would have been nominated.
Yeah.
Even though I haven't really read them any further. I mean, Something is Killing the Children is the only one that I continue to read. Immortal Hulk has stopped, unfortunately. But fortunately, the new run has given us a great video by the way of Whack Comics. And what Ignacio and the other guys at Whack are doing fantastic. I cannot wait to see all these cards done. But Ignacio is, and I will repeat what I said to him yesterday verbatim, is killing the fuck out of each and every card he makes. And I've never used that term. That was the second time I've ever used that term. But
I'm glad to hear you say it.
Yeah, if you guys have not seen the latest video, I mean, Pandas was fantastic. Remy and Miss Angels was whoa, and just Mark. There were two versions, and that's the thing too. There's always two versions, and I always kind of want the version before the final version or the alternative card. But Mark, you have two choices. You have the normal Hulk, and you have the Starship Hulk.
Starship Hulk, yeah.
I kind of favor the latter, where yeah, Mark wasn't too thrilled.
He was not impressed. No.
No. He even stopped eating his sandwich for a moment to say he didn't want it. So,
yeah. Well, we probably are going to make the variants, so you will be able to get them.
I've been looking already for wall space for 52 cards, and I think I may have to take some stuff down, but it's definitely going to be well worth it.
Well, maybe you can put them in a binder.
I want to look at them.
Yeah, it's easier to look at them in the binder.
No, I mean, I don't want to have to take the binder out. I want to be able to just view them. Like I'm looking at my slabs now. I want to be able to view them like that.
Oh, okay.
All right, let's get on to limited series. Beta Ray Bill, Argent Star by DWJ. I've read that one. I like the art on that one. Was pretty good.
Yeah, the story was kind of anticlimactic.
Yeah,
you know,
I agree.
It's like we did all this, but I think it's the point of the story. It's you might do all the things that Beta Ray Bill does. And even so, you might end up winning at that quest that you went on. And either way, you feel unfulfilled and sad.
Right. Kind of like No Country for Old Men in a movie or something like that.
Yeah.
Cormac McCarthy. All right. The Good Asian. I read the first issue. Those crime noir stories for me, I really don't jibe too well.
Okay, I haven't read The Good Asian. I'm waiting for it to end, but I didn't know it had ended already, so I might have to read it now.
Okay.
Because when they are limited series, I tend to want to read them in a sitting, basically, or try to read them in a sitting. Because if not, I don't like to wait for it to end.
Yeah, I'm finding myself like that now with Nice House on the Lake and Little Monsters. I mean, every single issue I've read so far of Little Monsters has been fantastic, especially this last issue. But yeah, I have to torture myself and wait a month. So
yeah,
Hocus Pocus have not read.
Me neither.
Many deaths.
Apparently, is Hocus Pocus is a totally indie because there's no publisher and there's a website.
Yeah, well, no such website. This is what you get when you pop up on the link. So.
Oh, okay. So.
Yeah. All right. Many Deaths of Layla Starr. I have read. I have not read through full, but those David Mack foil covers alone were enough to get me to buy them.
Beautiful book. Rambi and Felipe Andrade did an amazing job there.
Also, Ryan New Guy also raves about it, so I will definitely trust his word. Stray Dogs, for me, is one of the greater stories that's come out this past couple of years.
Yeah.
Love the whole premise of it. I can't wait for more. I mean, even Dog Days for me was pretty cool too, so.
Yeah, I think Stray Dogs is something I crave for in comics, and it's a serious issue, a serious script, basically, but with cartoony images. With that contrast, I love it.
Yeah, it was two great tastes that taste great together, so to speak. And I look forward to maybe stuff in a different medium from the Tony Fleeks and Trish. So we'll see.
Well, it's been optioned for a movie.
So
we might get it in a couple of years.
We may.
It's the next generation All Dogs Go to Heaven, probably.
Yeah, talk about another thing that's going to make you cry.
Yeah.
All right. And Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow. And I think I remember Mark raving about this, but Mark pretty much raves about most DC series.
Well, in this case, I think he's right because I don't read a lot of DC, and I don't either read a lot of Tom King. And this series got me basically because of Bilquis Evely art, because I love her art. But the story is so good because it's not the usual superhero book. And I think that what Tom King did here can be compared to what Grant Morrison and Frank Quitely did with Superman in All-Star Superman. I think Tom King and Bilquis Evely did All-Star Supergirl here. For me, it's my personal opinion. I love the story, and it deals with a trope, a narrative trope that I really like. That it's narrated as one of the characters narrates the story as if it was their personal journal, but it's an unreliable narrator, and that plays a huge part in what you read and what you see. There's some difference there, and it's really well played.
I'm trying to wonder what novel was there? Was it Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas with an unrelated? Oh, it might have been Fight Club also.
Yeah. Well, Fight Club is definitely an unreliable narrator because this dude, spoilers, people, they are the same person.
Yep, and we don't have any subliminal dick pics to show right now, so go watch the movie.
Yeah. It's Brad Pitt subliminal dick pics.
Right. Was that him?
I
was wearing a t-shirt yesterday. Been thinking about you, dude, and well, let's not read into that any further. Just it's been a while since I've seen
you. Good call.
Yep.
Fight Club. What a movie, man.
Yeah. So yeah, I think Mark said Supergirl too was one of those things.
Supergirl is really great. I think it's the trade paperback is coming out, so you might want to. Oh, you can read digitally. I don't know if you read digitally.
I do.
Okay, you can read digitally, and I mean the art is beautiful. The art alone, it's beautiful, but the story is good too. Really good.
All right, let's move on to best new series, and I know which one. Well, it was tough for me because there are 3 of these that I really enjoy and continue to enjoy. Human Target. I have not read this iteration of it. I read. I think this may be like the 5th time around for this one. I read the one in the mid 2000s, I think it was, or the late 90s. I didn't enjoy it that much, so.
Yeah, in this case, for me. Again, I'm an artist, so I always go for the art. Greg Smallwood's art in this book, it's superb. I just today I was reading one of his tweets, and he was talking about the thing that people complain about artists using photo reference, and he explained his process of how he does what he does, and defending the use of reference, because I mean, how are you supposed to know how to draw everything if you don't use reference? So besides that, he's a great artist. Hats off to Greg Smallwood.
Nice House on the Lake has been one of my favorite stories of the last year. It does tend to go up and down from issue to issue, though, but my general feeling about it is I read it as soon as I get it, and I kind of get the feeling that I want it to end, but I want it to end just so I know what the hell is going on. You know what
I mean, how many issues do we have left of that? 1 or 2?
I think we have 3 left. I think 9 just came out. We have 10, 11, and 12.
Oh, okay. So I always thought it was a 10-issue thing because of the symbols, you know?
Oh.
Because in each cover, one of the symbols is it's colored. It's as if it was, or maybe I'm imagining this. Maybe that's what I would have done. But I always thought that it was a 10-issue series. But I want to know how the fuck are we going to get from what they are telling us in the story, and the thing they showed us in the beginning of each issue? Because what they show us in the beginning of each issue, it's a whole different thing that we are seeing, and we know things are going to go south, pretty deep south, because none of them it's together. None of them are together, and none of them is having a good time at all.
Nope. And like I said, it's one of those things that I get out of the way quickly, and then I'm like, "What's happening? Want it to end?" And then
Why isn't it happening quicker? Because this last issue it was kind of, okay, come on, yeah, bring it on, man.
And then Not All Robots. I read the first issue. I think Tyler is enjoying this one.
I have not read Not All Robots. I know it's a 5-issue miniseries. I know it, or 6. I know it's. I have heard the Burrito Boys interview Mark Russell or talk about the series. I don't really remember, but I have heard Greg talk. Oh no, Greg, the bearded comic bro, talk to Mark Russell, and that interview gave me a pretty good insight of the story, and I'm eager to read it. But there's so many things to read, but apparently it's a really good story.
Yeah.
I don't really like a lot of Mike Deodato Jr.'s art, personally.
For me, it was like he's just a Hulk guy, and I don't remember him doing much after it, but Radiant Black I have enjoyed. I have not done so lately. I may be leaving this one, and that whole universe that Kyle Higgins is crafting now with Supermassive, Radiant Red.
The other one, it's something with Sun.
Rogue Sun.
Yeah. I mean, the visuals in those books are beautiful, but I don't connect with the genre. The Super Sentai genre is I don't know why, because if I think about it objectively, it's really cool. But when I sit to read it or see it, it doesn't do anything for me. I don't know why.
Yeah, no, it's I think it's coming to an end for me too. And finally, Ultra Mega, which I wasn't on in the beginning.
Dude, speaking of Super Sentai, I don't know why, but this one, I think it's the art.
The art,
and the absolutely crazy approach it has, because it's Super Sentai, but it's so fucking gory and violent that, dude, and James Harren is a beast.
And gory and violent, but with like all these beautiful explosions of color. So it's like great.
Yeah, and the how the story evolves, and the character designs, and dude.
Yeah, no, I agree. I actually feel like reading it over now, but they're thick boys.
Yeah, they're thick boys. Yeah. But I think it's totally worth it, because every issue, it's basically standalone, but it connects to an overall arc that I think James Harren basically evolved doing this, because up until this point, I don't think he had ever written something or published something he had written. But dude, I think he did a great job.
Yeah.
Writing this.
I wasn't on that one, and I think DJ Links put me onto it, and I'm glad he did, because it was an awesome series. All right. Yeah. Best publication, ages 8, 9 through 12, 13 through 17.
We can skip all this. Oh no, Wind by James Tynion, Strange Academy, there are some things there.
Yeah.
Adora and the Distance. This thing, Adora and the Distance, for example, is written by Mark Bernardin. Mark Bernardin is a Hollywood writer, and he has a podcast with Kevin Smith.
Kevin Smith. Yep.
Yeah, called Fat Man Beyond. And I've been listening to this dude talk about the stories he does and the ideas he has for stories that failed. And basically, Kevin Smith tells him every podcast, stop giving away great ideas to make things better.
Mm-hmm.
And then, so I was really eager to read Adora and the Distance because it deals with, or maybe it's a way in which he got to tell the story about her autistic daughter, because he has I think she's 12-year-old, and she is in the spectrum, but in a part of the spectrum in which she cannot communicate with them, so it's pretty hard. And this is a story that basically stems from his relationship with his daughter.
Mm.
And it's a really touching story, but there's not the best sequential storytelling there, because they need to put a lot of story in order to make it work. And sometimes you don't know how they get from one point to the next. I know that's not the point of the story, but I love my sequential storytelling. So, but it's a good story. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah. And all right. In fact, it's on Comixology. I'll check it out. Strange
Yeah, I
Cat.
think Dark Horse published a printed version, because I think Dark Horse and Comixology are in cahoots, basically.
Cahoots. It's funny that you know that word and use it. Cahoots. It's kind of funny, and that leads us directly into best humor publication.
There you go.
I have, again, like I said, I've only dabbled in Not All Robots. The Scumbag I have read just to ask for it at the comic store brings me pleasure.
Yeah. I love the fact that he changes artists in each issue.
Yeah, and it's just a whole bizarre premise that I love. Like, I think the whole tagline is, what if the worst human being on earth was the only one able to save it? So
yes,
he's pretty diabolical and crazy.
I think there's someone missing here, and it's 6 psychics for Trigger Kitten, because that was a really funny, really well done mini.
Mm.
But I mean,
yes, sir.
I guess these are all good. I haven't read all of them, so I haven't read any of them.
Zom 100, I think I have the free comic book day one from last year, but I have not read that one. So, all right, best anthology, Flash Forward, have not read. My Only Child, have not read. Silver Coin, I passed on, but whoever I know who's ready to have has enjoyed it.
Yeah, it's good. I haven't read most of them. I think all of them, but it's a really good, well done anthology.
Mm. Superman Red and Blue. I
only read the Daniel Warren Johnson issue.
Mm. And you.
Oh no, I read the Rich Douek issue. I think it was issue 4, in which Rich Douek did a story, and it was a really good story because it dealt with how people today basically waste Superman's time because they want to meet Superman, and so you have a kid basically live streaming his suicide, and he only does it to get rescued by Superman.
Mm. All right, well, we'll take a break since that's a pretty good segue for our little segment, which we call TM Asks, and let's see what TM's got to ask this week.
Hey everyone, TM from TM Nerdy here. You guys are watching Two Nerd Dads with Nick and Nacho. We're gonna hold you guys up for just 1 second because I got a question for all you fine folks out there in YouTube world. Is your time truly wasted? If you enjoy wasting your time, fill your holes with that nerd question. Back to you, Nick and Nacho.
This is a very deep one.
Yes, because there are many as Forrest Gump would say, there are many layers, like an onion to this one.
Yeah, I think just to go straight to the point, I think yes, you're wasting time. Even if you enjoy wasting it, you're wasting it. But it depends on how you waste it. If you get some everlasting or at least durable reward from wasting, we love you too, Cole. At least I do. I don't know if Nick loves you. Cannot speak for him.
Okay, so if I give you something to say, is watching this for the next 11 seconds a waste of time?
Yes, but it's a funny waste. I have wasted my time in worse ways.
And I'd say no, just because you're doing what you want to do and you're enjoying yourself. So I think that's the whole point of life.
Okay, let me ask you this, for example. Okay, let's talk about it's a delicate issue. Let's talk about artisanal sex.
First, define that.
I mean,
I think
artisanal
bread. That's all I think about for some reason.
Okay, artisanal is something that it's handmade.
Okay.
So artisanal sex is basically jerking off. I didn't want to say jerking off. I was trying to be a little more poetic. But so if you're jerking off for, I don't know, a lot of time, because whatever, and you're doing what you want to do, you're jerking off because you want to do it.
Mm-hmm.
But you're wasting your time doing it because you do it for a very long time or a lot of times in the same day or whatever. So it's wasting time. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I mean, for those 6 to 10 seconds, I mean, it's not a waste at all.
Yeah, but it's not only 6 to 10 seconds.
No, I know.
You need to work it up, and then
for those who may not have done it before, Ignacio has just explained in detail how handheld manipulation works, or artisanal sex. There you go. Yep.
Well,
I there you go. To hear the lamentation of the women.
Oh man. Oh, that line, my chop. That line always reminds me of Conan the Musical. Have you seen that video?
No.
Oh man. Just Google it. We cannot watch it here because it's quite long, but Google it and watch it afterwards. You put Conan the Musical, and these people have done musicals for a lot of Arnold movies, for a lot of movies, but it's basically Conan the Musical. It's Arnold singing, and there's a part in which he sings that line, "Crush your enemies, see them driven before you, and hear the lamentation of the women, hear the lamentation of the women." Perfect.
All right, by the Kaplan brothers. There you go. I got it. All right. So I have no possible way to segue into the final remaining categories. Let's just go. Best reality-based work. I can tell you I have not read any of those.
Neither have I.
Best graphic.
I have
Go ahead.
no. I have only heard of the strange death of Alex Raymond just because of Dave Sim is doing it, and the Cartoonist Kayfabe channel talked about it, but I don't know about it
Dave Sim
any
of
more than that.
Cerebus fame,
Yes.
who has popped up on this show. We've discussed him at one point, I think.
Yeah, I think when we were talking about The Crow and all the black and white boom of the 90s, and also we compared it to at some point I think with Spawn because it was the longest running indie series with 300 issues, and then Spawn broke that record.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, something like that.
Then we have Best Graphic Memoir. Of course,
There-
we haven't read this.
And best graphic album. Oh, Ed Brubaker and Phillips. Yeah, no, haven't read it. Monsters by the legend Barry Windsor Smith. Have not read that.
Yeah, haven't read that either.
Yeah, one of these I am currently reading. Best graphic album reprint. American Gods. I have not. Lock and Key. I have not. I am currently in the middle of Middle West.
Nice.
No pun intended. But I'm digging that one. Rick and Morty. I have not. And the True Love.
I read that because it's a D&D shit.
Now, also, we'll segue this into another Whack Comics episode in which your boy Iggy played Dungeon Master and spun this wonderful tale to put the cues through their paces in a wonderful tale of zombie
Survival.
apocalypse, Black Friday shopping, and
Yeah, I've been wanting to do that for a while, and that was the perfect scenario in which to do it because we didn't know exactly if Angel was going to make it, so we had to improvise with Lee because we were going to do. I don't know if I told you I am officially a part of our comics now because I got a challenge by Alan Rue to the 10 first appearance cover challenge, and Alan said he challenged Tyler, me, and all the other people in Whack Comics. So
nice. So that made you an official part of Whack Comics.
Absolutely.
Okay. Yeah, and there's even a sticker now with you and Miss Lisa officially indoctrinating you into the family.
Yes.
Awesome. Yeah, a ton of good stuff on the Eisners. Community does not talk about it, even though, we talk about a lot of stuff. I mean, I was surprised.
Hey, Crazy Chaos.
Surprised at all the stuff we have read so far.
Speaking of surprise, what was a surprise for me was that Crazy Chaos yesterday joined the Whacking Legends. I wasn't expecting that. Thank you, Chris.
Yeah,
now I get to draw you as you want.
That
like
is
one of my French girls.
Can we segue into that? Can you explain a little bit of that to the people who may not know? Let's
okay.
Stop sharing.
So
make you big.
The whack cards are as I'm working on with the kids from Whack Comics. It's a set of cards with the members of the community on it. We are starting to do the first series. It's called Legends, and it's with the members of the channel membership of Whack Comics. Once we go through them, basically, and we fill the list, we will open it to the community at large. But since people keep joining the Whacking Legends, that list gets shorter and shorter, so we might need to do a series 2 for the rest of the community. And probably
series two.
Yeah, I mean, we kind of knew we will have to do a series 2, but we didn't know that this thing will call people into joining the Whacking Legends. If we had that foresight, we might have worked into the promotion or something, but we didn't.
And just an example, you get to pick your favorite character if it is not already taken.
Yes, exactly.
And have yourself done up by our own super fantastically talented Ignacio. And I mean, literally every single one, he has killed the fuck out of it. Third time I used it.
Third
Not a
time.
very light, not a very
Don't
light.
waste it. Don't waste it.
Yeah, I mean, everyone has been phenomenal. And the
So a
videos.
caveat here. Yeah,
Okay.
we're having fun with the videos too. We that's a new thing because we weren't thinking about doing it like that. We were going to do maybe one or two, a couple of videos to show people and where the image while the person was there talking about the story and such. But then we went for the whack way of doing it. It was inevitable.
Well, I find if you stick around Mr. Chaos and Comics, you'll enjoy yourself.
Of course.
And of course, this guy wants to explicitly go against what he was just told, and he wants to know if he can be Sweet Tooth. Even though I don't think in reality he would pick Sweet Tooth.
Of course he wouldn't.
What do you think Cole would pick?
Himself?
Yeah, that's Cole is
no. I already know what Cole would choose because I asked him, but I'm not gonna say.
All right, I might sponsor his membership just to see what goes on. See, he just goes on and on and on and on.
Of course. Well, Batman, for example. Here we have an issue. So, Will from Kappa Comics chose New 52 Batman. And that's not the only Batman.
Right.
Of course, Batman is a crappy character to choose because it wears a cowl and it covers your face, so I have to figure out a way that make it work. Thankfully, most people in this community wears hats. So, there you go. You put a hat in it, well, we'll get to that when we get to that.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, I think
Well,
that one's taken also. Pandas
I mean,
was fantastic.
Yeah, Panda, well, it was all Panda. He told me what to do, and that was amazing because I was, as I said before, I was going to paint him green and give him a turtle shell. But him cosplaying as Mikey was his idea, so he can take all the credit for that amazing idea. But then, for example, we have the comic vet chose Spider-Man, but Spider-Man was already taken. So what did he do? He went for Black Suit Spider-Man. That is not Venom, because if you remember, the Black Suit came before Venom. So there's Venom and there's Black Suit Spidey, and Chris chose Black Suit Spidey.
And that one came out fantastically. I was like, for a second, it was like, did they do mine and not tell me? And it's like, oh, that's the comic vet. Okay.
That's another handsome bald guy, but this one is from Canada.
Canadian. He's actually also a lot taller than I am too. So
I know for me, you are all freaking huge. I'm 5'7", so I'm a hobbit.
But you dwarf us all, Ignacio. You dwarf us all. I'm going to use that to segue because there are a shit ton of more categories, and we'll be going on all day. But what I want to share now is I want to call this segment Ignacio's Suggestions.
Oh, awesome.
So we'll get to the first one. Let's see. Why can't I do this?
Are we going for 20th Century Man?
First one's going to be 20th Century Man.
Okay, people, you want to be on the lookout for this series. It's a 6-issue mini-series, but each issue is, give or take, 40 pages. And it's a story, how could you say? It has mechs, as you can see there. It had superheroes, and it's all in the story. I got to read issue 1 because I know the artist, and dude, I mean, as always, on art alone, superb work. But Dennis Camps does a great job with the script also, because it goes from the childhood of this character. That becomes a mad scientist and with age, and then becomes a super armored mad scientist a la Iron Man, but he's Russian. No, I don't. I don't have those Night Janek books, Chris.
All right. And Chris has also duly named this segment from now on.
I haven't read that. So we have this Russian mad scientist armored, so he's a super soldier, and then we have the president of the United States that has superpowers, and then we have a Muslim girl that's a scientist that wants the best for her people, and we see part of the backstory of all these characters, and we see how they interact in the present and the art. And I already read issue 1, and I want it all. So in August, people start pre-ordering now, because this, if I'm seeing this correctly, this guy Sinnerman, Stepan Morian, is going to be huge. If I can say so myself, I know the guy. I can call him a friend, but I have worked with him, and before I knew him and before I consider him a friend, I was a fan of his work. He has been doing some amazing work in some anthologies. We got lucky to get him for the fantasy anthology we did, and that brought up a friendship with him. And the dude is a crazy Croatian guy, but he's amazing. He's an amazing artist, and you don't want to miss this.
There you go. There's Ignacio's first sexy suggestion, which lead us into his next one.
Okay, my next suggestion, Magic Powder. This is the first comic I bought without knowing anything about it, just because I saw a couple of pages on Twitter, and I saw a couple of pages and I had to buy it because it's fantasy meets The Sopranos or Goodfellas. You have dwarves, you have elves, you have all the fantasy creatures the fairy tales tell you about, but they live in a crime-infested world. And you have the issues per se, and you have a dossier of information about the world, the city, the action happens in. Magic powder is basically a drug, and you have a crime lord that is a dwarf father, that is a dwarf. You have orcs, and there's basically a problem with the supply chain of the powder, and someone is about to make a move to take over the supply chain. It's 2 issues so far. This guy, Chef Schiller, the writer, it's another awesome dude. And we started talking after I read this, because I needed to talk to the guy, because he did such an amazing job bringing all this world together, that I needed to tell him, because it's nice when you like something, or when you do something, and to get some feedback from an unknown people that enjoyed the book. So I mean, that's my ego, of course, but he liked it also. So we have 2 issues so far. First issue, you get to step inside the world, and in the second issue, things go really hard, really fast. It's a fast-paced comic, and a lot of cool shit happens. And there's some subtle and not so subtle homages to crime pop culture, crime movies. There's a very clear homage to Leon the Professional, the Jean Reno movie from the 90s. And again, guys, it's an indie creator. He's currently working on issue three. I totally recommend it. He's very affordable and totally worth it. What is this Inception thing we're going on?
Yeah, you like that, huh? I put the link in the description of the video, but I just popped it in the chat also.
Okay, thank you. I totally recommend it, guys.
And for Ignacio's third sexy suggestion.
Kaiju Mania, guys. This is one in which I have taken part of. This is a story about basically 4 different kaijus. Are 4 different creative teams tell 4 different stories about 4 different kaijus with one single thread connecting them all, is that they are being abducted by aliens. So I did one of the stories with Travis Gibb. He's from Orange Cone, and he did Cthulhu Invades Wonderland, Cthulhu Invades Oz, Voodoo Nations, Holiday Spirit. He's a very nice, very creative person. He did Granite Stained Punk. That's my story with him, Hungry Beast, because basically it's a giant hippo.
I love that.
Yeah, it's been really a great pleasure to work with Travis. I work with him here on Kaiju Mania. I worked with him on Cthulhu Invades Wonderland, and probably soon on another thing. Travis is a great guy. We have worked in this anthology a while back, but now it's live on Kickstarter. So if you want to check it out, if you want to have something made by me, there you have it. Like a couple of pages of kaiju action. I have never done kaijus, and I had a ton of fun. And crazy enough, we did this before the Moon Knight series came out, but the kaiju is called Taweret, like the hippo goddess from ancient Egypt, which is, I mean, it's kind of a coincidence, but not really if you think about the god's name, but whatever. That's it.
And there you have it. Ignacio's sexy suggestion. Like I said, if you have a great name, a great suggestion for a name on our segments, there you have it. We'll give
Thank you, Chris.
credit for that. Links to everything we've shown from Ignacio's, I like saying it, Ignacio's sexy suggestions. The links will be down low. Go ahead and hop on this guy's stuff before it's too late, because he's getting busier and busier by the moment.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Those stickers will be available soon for purchase. All the proceeds going to I Can Never Point. That guy right there.
Me neither. Oh, I did it. Yes.
You do it good. Also, I'm getting a box together to send to my esteemed co-host. So if you guys have anything to want to send to Ignacio, send it to me, and I will therefore send it to him.
Thank you, Nick. Thank you, everyone. I know why Chris was asking about Nigerianic, because we talked about it, and thank you.
Okay. Also, related to that, it is not going to be cheap to send said stuff to Mr. Ignacio. So I will be holding a claim sale for some parts of my collection in order to get stuff to Mr. Ignacio, because I could probably send him one of my children for the weight of this box that it's going to be there. But,
oh, come on.
He definitely, Ignacio needs stuff from us. So, yeah, if you got anything to me, DM me on Instagram, and I'll give you my address, and we'll get stuff sent over to Mr. Ignacio. So,
thank you, guys.
I think that's all I have. Do you have anything else, Mr. Ignacio, you want to?
No, I love the sound of my voice, but we can cut it short.
Yes.
Remember those times?
We had no clue what was coming in the future. Literally.
No. Or how?
Artisanal sex at its finest. Yeah, I think just a few other community stuff we got going on tonight. Jerry the Jitterbug on Gary B.
I'm going to be on Gary B's on the 16th, on the usual suspects.
Oh, all right. So I may have some questions for him.
Bring it on, bitch.
Tonight, our Australian teammate Lee from Whack Comics will be on with the Qs, Remy Q, Mrs. Angel Q on Let's Talk About It. We got Burke's chat. No, Burke's on vacation. Tomorrow night, who is on In the Mix? Oh, Streetside Anthony tomorrow night in the mix. Where you might be able to get a crack at DJ Lynx's first exclusive from Javon Jordan.
Yeah, there's not a lot left of those, so
not a lot.
Get cracking, people.
But I may or may not have more than one copy coming to me. I think that's it.
Legion.
Tomorrow Legion,
morning.
The usual staples. Saturday night, banter with Chips. And to close out the week, where you'll probably hearing a lot of spoilers about Obi-Wan and the boys and Miss Marvel and everything that's going on in pop culture now. So
yeah, the spoiler show, it's on Sundays.
Sunday night, capping it off. Sunday night, 9 p.m. fake time, 9 p.m. Eastern.
Also, people, be on the lookout because we're going to be doing soon Nick's video for the Whack Cards. Oh, you didn't know?
I knew it was coming. Just not know when. I hoped.
Soon.
All right.
Bye-bye. Thank you for coming.
Yeah. As for that, here's our outro. Thanks, everybody. Thanks for the chat, for coming out. We love you guys. One of the main reasons we do this. So, see you later.
Fuck, you guys already saw it? Let me see it. Oh! Shit! Oh! Y'all see that?
So, Tyler, do you want to build a snowman to plow away all night? It doesn't have to be a snowman. It can be me.
I'll be clipping that too.